All right.
Wait, do you have the donuts or not? Wait, was this, were you even ever going to give me donuts or was this me the joke?
I don't think you're getting your donuts.
What you need to do is have like a donut calculation. Just basically then you don't know you have flatbed truck of donuts and just bring them back to school.
They should have sent that out of class.
There was a student who I bet in the gym one time, I go, if you make that shot at half court, I'll buy you a dozen donuts. And he made it. I'm like, oh. He bugged me for 2 years for those donuts. And finally one day I was at Freddy's and I knew I was going to Spinard where he worked. Like he was graduating, he was working there. But I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy his donuts. So I buy him a dozen donuts, I pulled out. He died of a heart attack. So, I think your donuts, especially, I always come through. You guys are signing your donuts.
In a couple of years, you make it.
Maybe.
After you graduate. Alright, so we have a couple books to work with in this class. This is the repair manual. The red textbook's back there. If you ever wonder what I'm talking about, the repair manual is the white, well, white cover, but it's the black one. There is a workbook. I don't know how much we'll be using that. That's just a lot of worksheets and whatnot. We may refer to it sometimes, but mainly repair manual. This is our maintenance guide, what I'm calling it. So repair manual, maintenance guide, and then there's the textbook, which we'll use a little bit too. So that's what we'll be using. This will help you the most when you're taking it apart and putting it back together. So you'll use that the most. We'll refer to this because it's got some new drawings in it to look at as we go along. Alright, since we talked about last time how loud, in theory, 2-stroke versus 4-stroke, this guy is, well, he's nuts, but he's like the most excited about 2-stroke versus 4-stroke I've ever seen in my life. So he should give us a good rundown. Actually, yeah, I'll show you the first like 30 seconds, just so you can see how excited he is.
Hey, this is Matt from Discovering His Way, and I'm doing a review on 2 at the top of the line weed eaters from Stihl. This right here is the FS130. It is the 4-stroke. It hasn't been proven, but a lot of landscapers love it. Raw power. And this is my favorite. It's the FS250. It is the 2-stroke, one of the last remaining 2-strokes. I tell you what, these are clearing machines. They can get it on, get it done. There is raw power. They can handle any, listen to this, they can handle any job. And if you put a blade on the bottom of them, they can handle any tree. That's how powerful they are. Now, I want to tell you the difference about these two. Just from my comparison using these, okay? This is the 4-stroke. This has 2 speeds, high and even higher. So if you're planning on getting the
That might be my favorite line in the whole. There's 10 minutes of this. We will not watch 10 minutes of this, but that might be the best line.
That's 130, okay? And using it around.
I would love it to say like on the machine, like high and even higher. Like that would be the best.
Your flower bed or going down a sidewalk. This is the wrong unit because I want to slow it down, and you guys know what I'm talking about. But this doesn't have that capacity, okay? It just seems like even I have to almost let all the gas off for it to lower the RPMs and lower that torque because that's the 4-stroke for the.
Yeah, that was a seamless edit right there too. He's just talking, and he goes. This is where we'll actually hear.
For the home use, okay, I would suggest going with the FS90 because of the engine size being a little off around those delicate areas. It was meant to go to war. It's you against the Everglades. It's you against what's behind me, okay? And so that's the 4-stroke. Now listen, with the 2-stroke.
Alright, here's the 2-stroke.
This is the FS250. It has more power than the FS130, but because of.
And we learned that, right? Heritage size 2-stroke has a lot of power.
It's a 2-stroke. I can taper this off. I can have it just going that slow. So I can go along those beds and stuff, the things that need to be handled. And so this is one of my favorites. It has more horsepower than that, but this can be slow it and go around. Now, if you've ever been weeding
If you ever notice he's not really finishing his thoughts, like he just kind of ends the sentence in a weird way.
Ditch or rocks, okay? Sometimes you have to slow it up. You can't be going full bore 100 miles an hour like you're in your Mustang on a drag strip. This can slow it down, but just as quick as it can slow it down, you can pull the trigger and it's a rocket shooting out into outer space. I love it. I'm going to start them and show you what I mean.
Alright, here we go.
Here, listen to this. You hear it? I can slow it down. Oh, you hear it? I can slow it down. Under this.
Favorite part, right?
This thing has raw power, but I love the fact that it is the two-stroke, okay? I put 110 line on this, and it can handle anything. I put a blade on this. I can clear the small trees with it. I can even chop down big trees with it, just taking my time. It's a straight shaft. It's powerful. It has the filter here. The gas tank, I love it so I can see through it a little bit and see when I'm running out of gas. I can go hours on there. There's your carburetor. I'm going to do a close-up of this.
There you go. It's got it all. Everything that needs to work. That was the two-stroke.
That long, the two-stroke.
Have any of you ever done weeding without your safety glasses on?
Yes.
How much crap you get in your eyes?
Oh yeah, there is one
It's on my
point
forehead.
in the film where he goes, "I've learned my lesson." And he puts on his glasses. But I'm pretty sure in the video he hurt himself. Alright.
Even with safety glasses, I can hit the eye.
Alright, so this is the four-stroke.
To put the 130 behind it and show you the strength of both of these units. I don't want anyone ever in doubt that this unit or the FS130 can't get it on, get it done, clear, whatever. I tell you what, you can go anywhere with this and just clear it down. Always wear glasses. Learn my lesson. Oh yeah, baby, let's get it on. Insane, isn't it? Insane, the power.
What is this deal?
There's your trophy right here, baby. Take that from them all.
I don't think this guy's important. I'll just draw it.
I love it. I love the FS250. Raw power, but nothing that broke you do, okay? Sometimes I get tired of listening to people. Hey, show me the money. Here, you'll need to put your tray tables up and put your seatbelt on.
I think, well, who can tell the difference in the two sounds of the engines anyway?
Hey, fire drill.
Alright.
Someone for the alarm. Someone for the alarm.
Yeah, why do you need to we're not like anyone?
What's part about fire drill?
I saw you like fucking up all over the snow. Oh.
Does this guy have a name? Did he get? Reminds me of Billy May, the salesperson, you know?
Wait, so the fire alarm not go off again?
It's my story. Yesterday, a guy came here from maintenance and he said, do you hear the announcements over that speaker? We're like, yeah, because okay, from now on, you'll hear the fire alarm through that speaker. Oh, yeah. Bullshit.
But you didn't. You had to go work. Like, the fire alarm work? No.
When I was Spanish.
I agree.
Oh!
It's true.
No. What am I like? Let's get
I'm gonna see if he has more videos. That's what we'll get started with stuff. Continue with that. Either one. Okay, we'll give you most. Alright. See if this guy has more videos or not. We won't watch it. But maybe we will. Discovering his way. It's an appropriate title.
He's got 386 subscribers.
Alright, he's got 2 liked videos. And 8 steel equipment reviews. So we got just more weed whackers. And we may have to watch his winterizing one when we get to that point. And you should subscribe. Blower. See, is this someone's account? Maybe we'll subscribe to him.
Yeah, subscribe right there.
I don't know who this is. Berbert. It'd be funny to subscribe Berbert to.
Do it.
Do it. He's got 386, 387 now. Alright, so that, I want to start off with that. But, oh yeah, before the fire drill, does anybody see any differences in sound quality? Is anybody's ear better than mine? Because there was a little bit of difference, but I don't think unless we were actually present. So I don't know about if it's louder than the other, because those were 2 similar sized engines. There was a little bit of difference, but I didn't see a huge one. So our objectives today are what we hope to accomplish. That's just we're going to review the 4 strokes. We're doing a short quiz on that on Friday. So it's open no. Yeah, tomorrow. I'm going to keep it just to the 4 strokes. We won't have anything else on it. So I'm keeping that really simple, but if you have your notes, you should be good to go. And then, what's your Evan? That's right. Evan, we're just going over what we're doing today. But you did make a funny weed whacker video. That's about it. We're going to do the steps of the 2 strokes. We'll learn about that. And then build a box, and we're going to actually assign engines. We'll have some, see how much time we have left over. Hopefully we can take apart at least the blower housing on it. I'll show you how to do that. That's real simple. Alright, so gotta find it first. I found an interesting thing that I would like to do, and that was have this ice cream maker.
Hey, what?
An ice cream maker. If you can find it. Just have to manually. Alright, you guys good? Okay. Let's just look it up. Ice cream maker. So this is called a hit miss engine. You'll figure out hopefully why in a second. Sorry, I'm find my original video to support this one. So this would be considered a small engine. And you can see small engines used to power everything from washing machines to anything you think of. That's a lot like starting an airplane. Growing up, our neighbor was a doctor from Anchorage, and he'd fly down to Kenai, and so there was like a vacation home. Anyway, he was a surgeon, but he lost his hand from starting the prop on the airplane. So that's a lot like doing this here too. So always be careful with that. But you can see why maybe we don't use this. It's not as efficient, but it's not always the safest either. Was that Lindsay? After that, he was like a supervisor, so he would give technical advice. Yeah, because he lost his hand. You can't do surgery like Captain Hook, unfortunately. It just doesn't work out very well. So why is it called a hit and miss? Just keeps popping like that. So this acts as a flywheel, this thing, two of them. It's keeping that momentum, but it only fires just like it's a 4-stroke on that 4th stroke. And so you just kind of hear it chugging along and then popping like that. And these things have what's called a governor system. It keeps the power at a steady level. These were just kind of like, they start powering down and then it pops, powering down and pop, powering down and pop. That's how they work. So anyway, this thing connects to a belt and they start making ice cream with that. Anybody ever had that before? Or you have to stir in the bucket or whatever? This thing powers that churn right there. And you make ice cream. I always thought it'd be kind of a cool thing to do. But that's an older style 4-stroke engine, but you can see they kind of change all the time. Alright, so let's review the 4 strokes again. This. Alright, so for this group here, let's see. Can you tell me what's about, you can play with it too. What, his phone? Just have, alright, phone's away. Next ones I just take to the office. I don't want to mess with them. Alright, so play around with it. Tell me what stroke this is currently on.
No, that's the exhaust.
Yep, that's exhaust stroke. How could you tell? The exhaust valve is open. So on this thing, the intake valve is over here. Exhaust valve is over here. Correction. And Alexis, do you know what stroke creates power?
That's
I know, that will be on your quiz. So, don't be too scared. Can you show me the proof? Sure.
Alex, stop the phone.
Hey, stop being a little rat.
Like a rat.
Oh.
Doesn't he?
Yep, so that's exhausting.
I think I have a big nose, look at you.
No, it's not very soul snack stroke.
Alright, so we're
You see him else? Don't have huge noses.
Alright, I think we got this. Everybody's doing pretty good. And you have your notes. Evan, I'll get you those notes too. For that quiz, so you know. All of the notes are you can use on the quizzes. So they should be pretty straightforward.
What'd you say?
Question, can you use this on the quiz?
Yeah, there really won't be anything that you're going to use though. But you're welcome to use that. Alright, get out your notes and we're going to figure out how two strokes work.
Is this the new stroke notes?
Yeah, they're the ones that are already written out actually.
Oh,
Yep. You see a diagram on top. This one? That's it. Does everybody have that? You got 4 strokes?
This is it.
Yeah, it really doesn't have to be too complicated there.
You look good, you looking good.
There you go, Evan. This is what we're doing right now. Got very
Shut up!
Like one of your claws.
Okay, what I'd like to do is, those notes are pretty complicated, and if we're going to take a quiz on that, just kind of want to break it down a little bit simpler form so we can just like our 4-stroke, it's just like a sentence. I could get that down with a 2-stroke. This video should help with that. Not this one, the next one. Hey, I'm going to put a plug-in for AdBlock for Google Chrome. It's really nice if you don't like commercials on YouTube channel.
Unlike fish oil, Mega Red is easily absorbed by your body. Mega
Watch one. And apparently, I found the weed eater guy, so.
Red. The difference is easy to absorb.
Now we know about Mega Red.
You see two-stroke engines constantly. They power weed whackers and chainsaws, model airplanes, boats, and all sorts of other stuff. The reason why they're so popular is because they have an incredible feature. For the power they produce, they are incredibly light. The key to the two-stroke design is a piston that acts like a piston, a compressor, and an intake and an exhaust valve. If you watch a two-stroke engine go through its 2 strokes, you can see exactly what's happening. Let's start with the spark plug fire. At this point, the piston is at the top of its stroke.
Does anybody remember what that's called when it's at the top of the stroke? I just mentioned it last time. What was it?
Intake.
Those are all good answers. It's the official is called top dead center. So when it's at the very top, when it can't go any further, that's top dead center. It's at the very bottom, that's bottom dead center. Yeah. But good information.
The cylinder is full of air and gasoline that has been compressed. When the spark plug fires, it lights the gasoline. The gasoline bursts into flame and expands rapidly, driving the piston down with a...
Alright, and then what happens next? You can kind of see it.
Exhaust goes out as the
Yeah. So then the exhaust happens first, and then bam,
lot of force.
starts coming.
See
in.
this area?
Those fluids, you're right, starts doing what to that gas? Like it starts pushing it out.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that in the video.
Flame and expands rapidly, driving the piston down with a lot of force.
See this area behind the piston? It's filled with air and a mixture of gasoline and oil. As the piston moves back into this area, it compresses the mixture. As the piston gets near the bottom of its stroke, it uncovers a port.
So you can see this is the mixture he's talking about right here. And as it comes down, it starts to push it, put some compression on that.
That port lets the exhaust gases escape into the exhaust pipe. Then, just a fraction of a second later, the piston uncovers another port. That port lets a new charge of air and gasoline into the cylinder. Now the piston starts moving back toward the spark plug, compressing the air and gasoline mixture so the spark plug can fire again. This cycle repeats thousands of times per minute. You can see that the piston is doing
thousands of times per minute.
three things besides being a piston. It's an intake valve, an exhaust valve, and a compressor. Because the piston is doing so many different things, it makes the engine incredibly light. You can also see that the spark plug fires once for every rotation of the crankshaft. That's twice as often as the spark plug fires in a four-stroke engine. So not only is a two-stroke engine intrinsically lighter than a four-stroke, but it also has twice the power. The other advantage of a two-stroke engine is that it can work in any orientation. As long as fuel is flowing to the carb, this engine is completely happy to work right side up or upside down. So that's how a two-stroke engine works. I'm Marshall Brain, and that's how stuff works.
Marshall Brain. Why can't a four-stroke work in any orientation? Can't get oil that's upside down. Container. Exactly right. Alright, so with those notes, I'd like you, and I'll come around to and answer some questions about, you see they're pretty lengthy. I just would like in one or two sentences for each step, write it in your own words, similar to what you did for the four-stroke. This box. Kind of take that, put it in your own words. And it doesn't even have to be a sentence. If you can shorten it more than that, that's great. Basically, on a two-stroke quiz, I want you in your own words to tell me what's going on, what's happening. Oh, sorry. You can do it here. So I was talking about power, exhaust, intake, and compression. Yeah, I've been doing it. That's the best video I could find too, because honestly I didn't understand two-stroke for a long time until I actually saw the video working. It's not a very complicated system, but it's hard to visualize. Alright, we had the rest of the class period to do that, but y'all have been really, really awesome and good so far. Good to me. This is, like I said, this is my practice round of teaching, so I really appreciate working with me. And you'll have an opportunity to tell me how I'm doing every couple of weeks anonymously, so you can say whatever you'd like to. Of course, keep it constructive, but I want to know what I can do better also. But this is the moment you've all been waiting for. We get to bust open some engines out of their boxes. We have 20 people assigned to this class, so that's 2 for every